Hey there, America. Remember that time the White House got a little too cozy with your favorite social media platforms? Well, it seems like that cozy relationship is here to stay. Yeah, well, the Supreme Court just weighed in on that whole shebang, and their decision is making waves. Buckle up, because things are about to get interesting. This ruling could change the way we think about privacy and government oversight. In a nutshell, the highest court in the land gave the thumbs up to the White House staying friendly with tech giants. This means more collaboration between the government and social media companies. Yep, you heard that right. The implications of this might be huge. The folks in charge of running the country may have an influence with Facebook, Twitter, and the like. This could affect how information is shared and controlled. Now, before you go full-on conspiracy theorist, let's break down exactly what this ruling means for you, dear citizen. It's important to understand the nuances. Because let's be honest, the last thing we need is another reason to distrust the government or big tech. Stay informed and stay vigilant. So, what exactly did those black-robed arbiters of justice have to say about all this? What were their thoughts and deliberations on such a contentious issue? Well, in a move that surprised absolutely no one, the court was divided. The judges found themselves on opposite ends of the spectrum, each side passionately defending their stance. But in the end, they decided that the White House involved in social media companies wasn't a violation of your First Amendment rights. They believed it was within the government's purview to engage with these platforms. The gist of their argument? It boiled down to the interpretation of the First Amendment and the role of government oversight. The government has a vested interest in making sure those platforms aren't being used to spread misinformation or incite violence. They argued that this oversight was necessary for public safety, and the best way to do that, apparently, is to keep a watchful eye on things. Surveillance and monitoring were deemed essential tools in this digital age. Of course, the dissenting judges weren't exactly thrilled with this decision. They voiced their concerns loudly and clearly. They argued that this level of government involvement could lead to censorship and stifle free speech. The potential for abuse of power was a significant worry, and, they might have a point. The balance between security and freedom is a delicate one and serious, and this decision has certainly added fuel to that ongoing debate. Now, you might be thinking, hey, what about the tech companies? How do they feel about all this? Well, let's just say they're not exactly throwing a celebratory kegger in Menlo Park. While they obviously don't want their platforms used for nefarious purposes, they're also not too keen on the government breathing down their necks 24/7. After all, they've got a reputation to uphold, as champions of free speech. This ruling puts them in a bit of a pickle. On the one hand, they want to cooperate with the government, but on the other hand, they don't want to alienate their users or become an arm of the state. It's a delicate balancing act, to say the least. Section 4, America, Land of the Free, Home of the Opinionated. As you can imagine, this decision has sparked quite the debate among the American public. And by debate, I mean a mishmash of screaming matches on Twitter and Facebook. Unsurprisingly, opinions on the ruling fall pretty neatly along party lines. Those on the right are generally A-OK with the government keeping tabs on social media, while those on the left are crying foul and waving their pocket constitutions in the air. The truth is, this issue is far more nuanced than either side wants to admit. There are valid arguments to be made on both sides. Section 5. The future of free speech and memes. So what does this all mean for the future of free speech in the digital age? With the rise of social media platforms, the landscape of communication has drastically changed. Well, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? The digital age has brought both opportunities and challenges for free expression. Some experts believe this ruling could have a chilling effect on free expression online. They worry that increased regulation might stifle creativity and the free exchange of ideas. After all, if people feel like the government is watching their every move, they might be less likely to speak their minds freely. This could lead to a more cautious and less vibrant online community. Others argue that this ruling is necessary to combat the spread of misinformation and hate speech. They believe that without some form of oversight, the internet could become a breeding ground for harmful content. They say that social media companies have a responsibility to police their platforms, and that the government has a right to step in when they fail to do so. This perspective emphasizes the need for accountability in the digital space. Only time will tell what the long-term consequences of this decision will be. The impact on both free speech and the regulation of online content remains to be seen. But one thing's for sure, the debate over free speech in the digital age is far from over. As technology evolves, so too will the discussions and policies surrounding it. Section 6. So what now? The Supreme Court has spoken and big tech is officially on a first-name basis with Uncle Sam. Whether this is a good thing or a bad thing remains to be seen. In the meantime, keep an eye on your social media feeds. You never know when the long arm of the law might be scrolling through your memes and political rants. Please like and subscribe for more popular topics.